Well, it's time to get serious. You know, important decisions, great ideas is often not made in a harsh work environment or a boring workplace. No, they're more likely to be made on an extended lunch with a glass of wine, like in France, or over a craft beer, like in Belgium. And I can imagine that a multitude of fantastic ideas have been born in the heat of the Finnish sauna. So what do we have? What do Swedes do to unleash their creativity? Well, we have the art of Swedish fika. And fika is a double-edged sword. It's both what you eat and the process of consuming it. There is also a term, a fik, which is slang for a cafe where to partake in a fika. And there are some stressed out Swedes, and then they call it, let's have a quick fika. But that, my friends, is a contradiction in terms. Because fika is supposed to take time. It is an opportunity to connect with friends, family, co-workers in a relaxed way. No fancy food, no dress code, just plenty of time to talk, eat, gossip over a cup of coffee. Fika is also a popular choice for the first date. Perfectly acceptable for both parts. And most important, if the chemistry isn't there, it can be cut short. So in workplaces, well, it is heavily institutionalized. At certain workplaces, the fika break is but compulsory, and co-workers that don't participate are at some risk of being viewed with both suspicion and skepticism. Fika is, in other words, a serious business, almost bound by law and basically considered as a human right in Sweden. And as many tour operators abroad has found out, Swedes are mostly kind and considerate people, as long as you don't deny them the 3 o'clock shot of sugar and caffeine. Well, fika is coffee and cake in its essence. Traditionally, the fika meeting was one of the few opportunities for women to meet on their own at their homes. And a real old school fika was supposed to consist of 7 assorted biscuits. On top of that, preferably also cinnamon buns, sponge cakes, and some sort of cream cake. No more, no less. If you added more, it was considered to be a show-off. If less, you were Uncle Scrooge, greedy. By 1940, the fika meetings peaked amongst the women, probably due to and a celebration of the end of the food rationing during the Second World War. And by the end of 1945, the cookbook, 7 sorters kakor, 7 assorted biscuits, was released. And until this day, it is the most sold cookbook in Swedish history with a breathtaking 3.8 million copies sold, and it's still ticking. The last edition was printed in 2017. But by now I think that you might wonder, well, how much coffee do a Swede actually drink? Well, a Swede consumes 9 kilos of coffee per person per year. And that makes roughly 3.2 cups of coffee per day. Every day. That is world-class consumption. But we are actually beaten. We are beaten by the Finnish people. They drink 3.5 cups of coffee per day. When I did this dive into the Swedish fika tradition, I wondered about the word fika. Why do we call it fika? Actually, it derives from the ancient hipsters in Stockholm at the turn of the last century. When coffee became a major hit in Sweden, it took us some time to find the proper Swedish word kaffe. Kaffe was used as a parallel. And the original coffee addicts in Stockholm also amused themselves with backslang, a sort of an in-joke, anti-language, a way to mark themselves out as a group of it people. So when they took the word cafe and threw the letters around, sort of semi-backwards, it became fika. And today, fika has become a huge part of the Swedish way of life, our lifestyle. So now, there is only one way to end this session, with the one and only legendary fika break. So in a few seconds, I will send you out on a fika break sessions, and I'm sure that great ideas, fantastic ideas will be born during these fika sessions today. Thank you. Enjoy.